Route 33 winds through the back roads of Ventura County, a ribbon of asphalt threading between sun-bleached hills, oak groves, and empty farmlands. By day, the road seemed harmless, golden, serene, almost cinematic. By night, it becomes something else entirely. Narrow, twisting, isolated, a place where shadows gather like spectators. Lucas had been driving late, heading home after a long week. The sky was streaked with clouds, half-lit by a waning moon. That's when he saw her, a young woman in her early 20s, standing on the shoulder, thumb extended, backpack slung loosely over her tiny frame. Petite, fragile-looking. Her face was framed by delicate strands of hair, almost flower-like in softness. Her eyes were wide, innocent, almost doe-like, glimmering in the dim streetlights. A faint smile played across her lips as she lifted her hand in greeting. Lucas slowed, instinctively protective. Most drivers would have ignored her or called the cops. Not him. Something about her seemed vulnerable. "Thanks," she said in a voice like glass, soft and melodic. "Not many rides out here." She climbed in without hesitation. She smelled faintly of wildflowers and citrus, an innocence that made Lucas's guard drop just slightly. They drove for a few minutes in silence. The hills rolled past, shadows stretching over the road. Her small hand rested on her lap, tiny, delicate fingers. She looked fragile, perfect. Then the first warning came not in words, but in the faint metallic tang in the air. At first, Lucas thought it was nothing, but the scent of blood iron strong coated his tongue. He looked over at her, and for a moment it was as though something had shifted in her posture. The dainty smile remained, but her eyes, they darkened, just for a flicker, enough to make his skin crawl. He laughed nervously. "You're scaring me," he said. She leaned forward, small and unthreatening, voice sweet. "Do you want to know what I like about the dark?" Before he could answer, the knife appeared, long, thin, glinting in the moonlight. It pressed against his side with terrifying precision, and the innocence shattered. In an instant, the delicate, petite flower of a girl became something else. Her eyes blackened. Her smile stretched, revealing sharp, impossibly white teeth. Her hands, once gentle, were deadly instruments of precision. She moved like liquid shadow, striking with horrifying speed. Lucas felt the first cut across his arm, a searing slash that sprayed blood over the dashboard. He tried to jerk away. She was already on him again, stabbing, slicing, careful not to miss a single target. The car spun slightly as he fought for control. The steering wheel scraped gravel. The tires dug into dirt. Her movements were horrifyingly efficient. What had seemed fragile was terrifyingly lethal. Each strike had purpose. Blood sprayed, then pooled, soaking the seat and his clothes. The smell of copper and iron filled the car. Every scream that tried to leave his throat was swallowed by her hand, her face inches from his, still smiling, still impossibly cute. Dainty, flower-like, but utterly monstrous. She dragged him into the brush when the car lurched into a turnout. The night air was cold, carrying the scent of sage and his own fear. He struggled, but she pinned him effortlessly. The knife carved across him again, this time deeper, slicing through muscle, eliciting guttural screams that echoed in the still hills. Blood seeped into the dirt, darkening it, making the soil sticky underfoot. "Why are you doing this?" he gasped, shaking violently. Her laughter was soft, melodic, and chilling. "Because I can," she whispered. "Because it's fun. And because—" Someone has to remember. The cuts came faster now, deliberate, surgical. Every motion precise. His arm, chest, leg, she carved patterns in his pain, almost as if painting a scene in scarlet. He felt his life ebbing, and yet there was something worse than dying. The way she toyed with him, transforming before his eyes from delicate innocence into predatory horror. Lucas began to notice small, subtle things. The trees around them seemed to lean closer. The shadows deepened unnaturally. Every time he blinked, she seemed to multiply, standing just behind him, in the brush for a heartbeat before vanishing. Was it his blood-soaked mind, or was she something else entirely? Panic set in, twisting time. The night stretched. Minutes became hours. Every scream, every gasp, echoed back as if the darkness itself was laughing. He saw her face again, fragile, innocent, flower-like, but the smile was empty, hollow. Then the knife plunged again, and she was monstrous, laughing with that same eerie melody. When she finally stepped back, Lucas was alive but broken. Blood coated him, soaked into his clothes and hair. His vision swam. The brush around him looked ordinary again, the road quiet. She was gone. He stumbled back to the car, adrenaline and shock keeping him upright. The road looked normal, almost serene. But Lucas knew the truth. The girl had been real. Every cut, every splash of blood, every whispered word real. He would tell the story later, but he knew no one would believe him. The girl was still out there somewhere on Route 33, her petite frame and delicate features hiding the darkness within, waiting for the next driver, waiting to smile, to charm, to kill. And maybe when he looked in the mirror that night, he realized a part of her had followed him home.